All right, well, the Dallas DA is getting a lot of attention, not necessarily good attention either, for his decision not to prosecute petty crimes. Go to HEB, take $700 worth of groceries, keep it in your cart, walk out the door. I guess you can get away with that in Dallas. Evidently, at least from what we're hearing. Join us to talk about it. Criminology professor at Tarleton University in Dallas, Dr. Alex Del Carmen. Does this send the wrong message? Alex, what do you think?
Good morning, and thanks for having me this morning. Well, it depends on who you ask, right? From the DA's perspective, he's doing this in order to try to prioritize more serious criminals and keep his jails empty for those, serious offenders and violent offenders. On the other hand, folks like the governor yesterday said, look, at the end of the day, you've got these individuals that are engaging in petty crimes, and nevertheless, they're still crimes, and they're going to get away with it. So it really does depend on perspective.
This goes back, though, doesn't it, maybe to the broken windows theory? I mean, look how Giuliani went in and cleaned up, started with petty crime in New York City, and basically got a lot of the criminals off the streets.
Right. So what we know from broken windows is essentially that criminals, they begin with petty crimes and they sort of evolve into more serious offenders. That's not always the case, and clearly we still have people that commit and engage in one crime in their lifetime, and they learn the hard lesson of what the consequences are. Those that are criticizing the DA this morning are simply saying, look, at the end of the day, those individuals that would have otherwise been prevented from engaging in further crimes are no longer going to see the criminal justice system if they live in Dallas.
Other than a price tag of $750, Dr. Del Carmen, if we made any other assertion of what constitutes "quote unquote" a petty crime?
Right. So most of them are property crimes, and most of them really they carry a value of $750. And so, you also have instances where the individual may use marijuana for the first time. It may not be at a level of noting in the law that the individual is consuming a large amount. And so if they have a less than a certain amount of marijuana, I guess, in their possession, they're simply going to be dismissed, and that's not going to be a prosecutable crime. It's almost like legalizing certain types of drugs and certain types of thefts. And the other argument against that, of course, is that you have very small stores that depend largely on law enforcement engaging in the enforcement of the law on those individuals that shoplift, and law enforcement will no longer be interested in that because those crimes will no longer be prosecutable.
Well, I understand about things, but crimes against other people, what about the victims in all of this?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Again, I mean, from the DA's perspective, the victims are those that engage in those nonviolent crimes for the first time, and then at the end of the day, they don't have the resources to hire a fancy attorney that's going to represent them in court. On the other hand, you've got those individuals that are now going to be subject to being victimized by crime that are never going to be seeing a day of justice in the county of Dallas. It's very, very concerning from both perspectives.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds like the social justice warriors are hard at work in Dallas, Texas right now, that's for sure. Wow, if I were a retailer, I wouldn't be real happy about this. I don't imagine that's going to help their insurance costs very much. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Dr. Alex Del Carmen checking in. He's a criminology professor at Tarleton University in Dallas. Wow.